Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I do appreciate it. As always, I really appreciate your support. Everyone that watches, likes, comments, subscribes. It means a lot. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I don't know if you can tell or not, and hopefully this is better if you can. I am trying a different mic. The other mic is brand new. I'm not hearing the audio before I upload, so I really don't know the problem, but everyone keeps saying it's cutting out here and there later in the video. So here we go, trying something different. Got a couple of different stories for you, both related to Caitlin Clark's cards. Two different stories on that are just kind of wild what she's achieved, and they also just give you an example of the difference between Caitlin Clark's fan base and others, and not just the size of her fan base, but the uh, I don't want to say devotion. That sounds a little culty. Intensity. I don't know how, but they're willing to put their money where their mouth is. Let me say that they're not just a bunch of loud people on social media. Okay. And, okay, so let's dig into this first one. And as you can see here, oh, I'm glad the big ad just popped up so we can knock the headline out of the way. Caitlin Clark's $216,672 year-end milestone cements the Rookie of the Year's unmatched WNBA authority. I know we've talked about a couple of cards of hers that auctioned off for a ton of money. This one's a little bit different because there's some competition, which was what makes it even wilder, as I want to show you. So this is the Golden December Elite WNBA card battle. Now I want to go down because I think we can see it a little better here. $219,906 WNBA cards just sold at this auction. Caitlin Clark accounted for $216,672. You can see the differences here. She had 5 cards. The lowest one was 12,322. Then she had one that went 13,420, 40,870, another for 52,460, and one for 97,600. By the way, the Asia Wilson signatures, one of one, went for a whopping $915. That is your face of the league. Sabrina Ionescu, 2319. So Caitlin Clark's cheapest of 5 cards went for 4 times what the Asia Wilson one of one signature card and Sabrina Ionescu's card went combined. Yes, that is right. Combined for that one card. Caitlin Clark was like 99%, 98% of the cards. Caitlin Clark effect, got that right. I am shocked Asia Wilson hasn't bought a Caitlin Clark card out of spite. Now, really, I won't go through a ton of comments, but I just think, yeah. See, remember I said this before, thanks to the Washington Mystics owner, you're going to get this all the time now. I think it's unfair that Caitlin Clark gets her own card. They need to put every WNBA player on one card and celebrate them all. That got 516 likes. So I think that's it for the comments really to read. But yeah, this one that see they're highlighting what I just mentioned to you. Actually, you can see the cheapest Caitlin Clark went for 4 times what the Wilson and Ionescu cards went together. And here was the point I was kind of making in my intro. Notice how Caitlyn fans and buyers actually spend their money on her while all these Twitter bandwagon faves struggle to sell anything. Tell us who actually has real fans and who only has fans for Twitter clout. 100%. The other thing that I thought was interesting before we get to the second really cool story as well is, let's see, I got to scroll all the way down to, yeah, Caitlin Clark and her rivals. And here's the part that cracks me up too, right? And I saw someone tweeting this out earlier today too, not specifically about this, but just the same. Given how one reason for increased attention on Clark was because of a rivalry with LSU's Lady Tigers star, her entry is not surprising. Yeah, that's not it at all. Angel Reese attached herself to Caitlin Clark, and this is no knock on Angel Reese. I mean, it was a smart decision for her to do that with all the attention she's gotten that's leading to financial opportunities. Okay, so for those who are going to get offset, I'm not hating on Reese, other than to point out this is ridiculous. If you look at Caitlin Clark was known long before the final of her junior year. And look, you can just go to the game before that, the Final Four when Iowa beat South Carolina. That game had 14.1, I believe, but I was over 14 million fans viewed that game against South Carolina. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going off memory. I didn't pull it up, but I think that was what the second largest NCAA women's college basketball game, I believe. Second only to, I think, the Iowa South Carolina game, the final this year, which was over 18 million, and actually, had more than the men's. So correct me if I'm wrong on that. But see, again, this is what I say time and time again. I'm sorry, I know you're probably tired of hearing it, but they're doing this all the time. Although I fear for Angel Reese that she's going to get left behind in these conversations as we move into a new season, and it's going to be Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark. But here's the other thing that was really cool too, because this is a big one. Caitlin Clark makes history. So she achieved, like it says, yet another historic feat. She's the first woman ever, female basketball player, because we're talking about basketball, to be included in the Professional Sports Authenticators top 10 most collected basketball players of the year. For those who don't know what PSA is for cards, that is the most widely used grading system. When you're getting into high value cards and you want to sell or buy, it's not going to get done unless has PSA grade. And that's how value gets determined. And Caitlin Clark, this is the first time she was the number 6 spot. This is basketball. Number 1 was Spurs phenom Wemby. By the way, real quick shout out to him. He had an off day, yesterday, I think, or the day before, and randomly tweeted out about anyone played chess and I forget where he did it, but it was an outdoor place, I guess, where they play, like, you can go play chess, and he tweeted that out, and a bunch of people showed up, and he played some chess matches, which was kind of wild. Good for him. That's WNBA. You can learn something for that. It sounds like something Clark would do as well. That's how you grow a fan base in a sports league. The NBA needs more players like that. So it was Wemby, then Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, and then number 6 was Clark. And she's the only woman in the top 10, only woman to ever be on that list as well. Wild that Jordan and Kobe are there. So I think that's kind of cool. There was something else about it I wanted to point out. Yeah, we get into the numbers I wanted to show you. I think I've got a clearer list on this. Let me see. It's wild. Okay, here you go. Clark had 77,000 cards graded officially by PSA. The next highest women's basketball player, 5,400. That was Paige Bueckers. As it says here, that's 14 times more cards graded than Paige Bueckers. And I won't go through all the comments, but the first one was funny, right? And I was told Caitlin, she was Caitlin before Caitlin. And just so you're wondering, I think it tells us also then Angel Reese, 4,700, 16 times fewer than Clark's 77,000. Asia Wilson not mentioned, but obviously it's less than 4,700. So yeah, I just want to show you that. I think that is kind of wild, and it just tells you the difference between the fan bases of Caitlin Clark and other players in the WNBA who don't really, they're well known and they're getting more attention, and I'm sure they've gotten new fans all because of Caitlin Clark. But to compare them to constantly saying all this stuff about, and here's the other thing I thought was neat too. Real quick. ticket sales for the Indiana Fever. As we know the numbers, but I haven't seen it put this way before. StubHub recorded a staggering 90-fold increase, 90 times, folks, in tickets sold for the team this year compared to 2023. Absolutely insane. As I said, Caitlin Clark's fan base, they they pull out the money, they buy the merch, they go to the games, they financially support Caitlin Clark. Which, by the way, Nike, are you listening to me, Nike? Could you put out a shoe? Hey, could you do a commercial? I mean, you could have done, even without a shoe out, you could have done so many things with Caitlin Clark, and you ignored her all season long, which is absolutely wild. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Really do appreciate you checking this out, and I will talk to you soon in another video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you later.